Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully complete the code application for the student class. So now as I told you, our rest of this all that functionality will be just like that same. Okay, cause so right now I think don't need to explain it everything. So that will be just like that same. We have already created that main structure. Now we will copy it everything and we'll create our rest of this all that functionality very easily. So let's do that work. So first of all, right now I don't need this. I close everything. Okay, I close everything. That is our sidebar. Into the sidebar area, so that is our student class. So now I'm going to create another one for our this project. For that means our student management system project, we need this type of one of the functionalities. I name it as a student year. Okay, I name it as a student year. And here for the year I want to create one of the another route. Friend, as I told you, I have already created the main basic every structure, right? So that is our code application, all that code. So that will be just like that same. How much easily we will create it, I show you. We will just copy or paste every data. So right now that is our year. So now I make it as a student year. Okay, year view. So this type of one of the route I want to create. Now go to our web route. And I also want to create it with our this prefix. Okay, that means into this prefix I want to create another one. So that is our student class route. So now I want to create another one that will be as a student year routes. Okay, that will be the student year routes. So now I want to copy it, and that will be one of the view. So I paste it, and that will be here. I name it as a student year view. I copy it, that will be as a student year view. And I also want to get that name. That means our route will be as a student year view. I only want to actually replace it with the class to year. Okay, and that will be one of the method as a view student. So I want to make it as a view year. So that will be as a view year. And better you can actually create this total code application into the same controller, rather than better I want to create another new one. Okay, so we need actually the controller, we need one of the model, and also we need one of the migrations table. So it will be just like same here. First of all, that will be one of the controller. I want to create one of the controller as a student year. Okay, year controller. That means into the backend folder there is a setup folder. Here I am to create one of the controller as the student year controller. Now I just click as enter. Our controller is now successfully created. And also I want to create another model. So that will be as a model, and to create another model that will be the student year. As I told you, I only replace it. Okay, that means the student year. And then I also want to create one of the migration file. Now click as enter. Yeah, our model is created and also migration is created. So if you now go to our migrations file, first of all I want to complete that our database portion. How we will do that work very easily. So that is actually our student class. So it will be just like that same. Here I also want to take one of the field for the name. That means the year name. So here that is our migration table. That is our student year. So after this I simply paste it. I add one of the another field, and that will be as a name, and also that will be as a unique, right? Perfect. So friend, that's all for our student year table. Now click as a save all, and after that I want to migrate it. So PHP artisan migrate. Now click as a enter. Yeah, our migration is now successfully complete. And if you now go to our database, you can see I have created another one as a student year. So that will be just same. Here there is only one field. So right now I don't need this. And in our web route I have already created one of the controller. So better I copy it, I paste it. So that will be into the same folder. That means in our backup, setup, and here you can see there is a student year. I copy it, and then in our backup setup, and then that will be as a student year controller, right? So I simply load it. Perfect. And now we can actually use it for our student year route. That will be as a student year controller, and that is our view. Okay, that means the year view. So I want to create this method. It will be just like this one. Okay, that means the student class, we will copy everything from here and we'll apply it for our student year controller. So first of all, I want to load our model. So here I have also created one of the model for our year. You can see there is a model as a student year. So now I want to copy it. So that will be not the student class, that will be as a student year. Okay, perfect. So friend, that's the main setup we have to apply, and after that better I copy it. I copy that our first one, I paste it. Okay, I have created one of the method. So if you go to our web route, into the web route, I name it as a view year in our student controller. That means the student year controller. So that is our method, right? That our method will be as a view year, and here I take that same name. So here we don't need to change anything. There is a data, and then our variable as all data, and now our model name, model is changed, not that student class. That will be as a student year. All the data I take it, and I take the things with this variable. Now in our backend setup, I want to create another folder. That means if you go to our backend, so into the backend I have created as a setup. Into the setup area I want to create another new folder. I just name it as a year. Okay, year folder. So into the year I name it as a year. Okay, year folder. That means the backup, setup, year, and here I want to create one of the file as a view year. So I have already created that structure. How much easily we will create it, I show you. So right now that the file we have to create in our year folder. So now into the year folder I create another new file. Now click as a save as. That will be as a view year .blade.php. Okay, so that will be our file, and this file will be just like I want to copy everything from our student class. So that is a student class, that is a view class. I copy everything, I simply copy it, and now in our view year here I paste it. Okay, I only, because of all that, actually the same one field will be needed. For the reasons actually the pretty much same thing. Okay, and also that will be as a student class. I make it as a student year. Okay, that will be as a student year list, and that will be as a add student year. So this type of one of the button, the name will be same, and here I also pass all the data with this variable. That means the all data variable in our view year page, that is our view year, and with the viewer you can say all data. I just name that as year. Okay, year. So now with this year I want to visible our name, our database field name actually the same name. For the reasons right now we don't need to change anything, and that will be our serial number, and that is our edit at the update. So that will be our this table ID, right? So if you want to access this table ID, that means that is our student years table, and that is actually the student years table ID, right? So now I get all the data with this variable, and here I pass it with this year. I show that name, and that is our ID, and that is our and for each. So here we don't need to do anything, everything will be just like that same. Now if you click as a save all, and now go your page, now click as a refresh. Now you can see friend, there is our another button as a student year. So now if you click as a student year, yeah, it's now successfully loaded. Okay, so now I want to insert this data. That means the add student year. So here we have to create another route. Now go to our view, and that will be as the add class add. That means the student class add, I make it as the student year add. Okay, student year, sorry, student year add. This type of one of the year route I want to create. Now go to our web route. After this I better that will be same. I copy it and I paste it. So that will be as a student year add, student class add, sorry, the student year add. Maybe I put that name as a student year add. You can see that will be as a student year add. And now in our student year controller I want to create one of the method as it will be as a student year add. Okay, and that will be the student year add. So this type of one of the method I want to create in our student year controller. So now I copy it. Now go to our student year controller here. After this I make it as a public, and then function, and then our method name. And with the method area only I need to actually load one of the page. You can see before I have already loaded one of the page. Better I copy it. So that will be I loaded as a backend setup. I have created one of the folder as a year. okay, year, and here I want to create one of the add year. Okay, that will be as a add year. So this type of one of the file I want to create in our year folder. That means that is our year folder. Here I create another new file, click as a save as, and name it as a add year.blade.php. So I want to copy everything from our student class, that is a add class. I copy everything. That will be also one of the one field. For the reasons here we don't need to change anything. Okay, so only we have to change this as a add student year. That will be as a add student year, student year name, and then the field name will be just like that same. Here that is actually our validation. We don't need to change anything. Perfect, only that is the things. Okay, now click as a save all. Now click as a save all, and now go there, click as a refresh. Now go to our add student year. Yeah, you can see there is a student year name. There is only one input field. Perfect. Now we have to insert this data, so that will be as a store student year. So I just simply I have already created that format. I just simply replace it with the class to year. Okay, and also rest of this video you'll have to do the same things. So now we have to create this route. Go to our web route, and from here, from our class, that is our store. Better I copy it. That will be as a post method, and then after this I paste it. So that will be as a student year store and store student year, right? If you go there as a student, that means the store student year, store a student year. Perfect. So now in our student year controller, into the student year controller, I want to create another method as a student year. Okay, student year store. This type of one of the method I have to create in our student year controller. So now go there. Here we don't need to do anything. I better copy from our student class. You can see that is exactly the same method. I copy it, and now in our student year controller, here I want to paste it. Okay, I simply paste it. Perfect. Now our method will be changed. Our method will be as a student year store. I copy it. That will be as a student year store, the request, validation, and required unique in our which table. So right now our table will be become changed. Our table will be as a student years. I copy it. So that will be our tables, and that is our field name as exactly the same name. So for the reasons here we don't need to change anything. And then our model, I have already created that model as a student year, not that student class. So I have updated that student year, and the request will be just like that same. Save this data, notification student year. Okay, year inserted successfully, and then it will be return redirect to our student year view page. That means that is our student year view page. I copy it, and then it will be return redirect to this page. Okay, perfect. So friend, that's all we have to do for insert this data, right? Now click as a save all, and now go there, refresh it. I want to insert as a 1 or 2 in 2019. Click as a submit. Yeah, you can see it's now inserted as a student year inserted successful. Click as a add one, another one as a 2018, submit. And insert another one as a 2020, submit. Yeah, everything is great. Add another one as a 2021. Okay, 2021. So that is actually inserted successfully. Perfect. So now we have to actually get a specific one of the row ID data. If you click as a browse, you can see data is successfully inserted. So now we have to get that specific one of the row ID data. So if you want to get this row ID data, what exactly you have to do? You have to first of all add one of the link into the edit page. So that is in our view, into the view area. If you go, that will be as the student year. Okay, student year edit with our year table ID, right? We have to create this edit. Go to our web route, and from previous one, that is our store edit. I copy it, and then that will be again, that means the student year edit ID and student year edit, right? If you go to our view, that means the student year edit, so that will be as the student year edit. Now in our student year controller, here I want to create another method as the student year edit. Okay, student year edit, we have to create this method in our student year controller. So better if we go to our student class controller, I copy it, and then that will be the same. I think you already know that is a web. Here I have created as a student year edit, I copy it, that will be as a student year edit with a specific one of the ID, because of all here that have also one of the ID, right? So now I simply pass it, and with this edit data, our model name, our model right now I have already created on the model as a student year. So with this student year, I find a specific one of the ID data, take the things with this variable, and here I want to pass it in our backend. I have created one of the folder as a year. Okay, year folder, and that will be as a edit year. That means edit year. So we have to create this edit year in our year folder. So that is our year folder. Here I create one of the new file, click as a save as. It will be as a edit year.blade.php. Okay, so that will be just like our student edit. I copy it, student class edit, and now in our year edit year, I just paste it. So that will be as edit student year. Okay, that will be as a student edit year, and then student edit year, that means year name, student year name, and then I have also passed that same name. Maybe you can see the pass the same name as edit data. So now with this edit data, I want to access our database field name, that means our value will be visible. Perfect. So that's all. Okay, then this will be for our updates. I will do the things later. Now click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh. So now if you click as a edit for the 2019, yeah, you can see it's now perfectly getting out this value, right? So here I have already get this value with this edit data, and now I visible that name. Perfect, because of all from here I pass this data, right? I get it, take the things with this variable, I compact it in our edit year page. So that is our edit year page. With this I simply display our this value name. So now our requested ID as a 1, and that is our visible. Now go to our another one as a 2020, and now click as a edit. Yeah, it's now perfectly getting this data. So now we have to update it, right? And how can update it, how can delete it, better time to continue this process. In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.